Today is August 26th, and the Yankees have just completed a three-game series against the Dodgers, and they won the first, they won the last, they lost the middle. It was some good baseball, a lot of homers, a lot of fun. Let's do it, Jake. Let's talk Yanks.
Recaps galore for weekly awards. Stat lines, steaming hot takes. Your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
What is going on? Thank you, everyone, for joining us, for click and play, hanging out with us today as we recap the series that was. It was a doozy. It was a fun one. It's a West Coast series. It's a late night recording session, but I don't even care, Jake. I am excited to talk about this one. My name is John Boy, and I'm coming to you from New Jersey, and I've got my best friend and co-host wearing a Yankees polo, coming to you from Denver, holding the mic in his hand. Usually has it in a holder. Usually when you hold it in your hand, that's reserved for some serious business. How you doing, Jake?
Jimmy, I am well. You're right. When the mic's in the hand, it's one of two ways. It's either really intense, like buckle up and get ready, or it's kind of a God is good area, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got a wireless connection for the first time in a couple days. Turns out the Yankees aren't horrible, which is really good news. Because if you haven't been watching them all year and seen them have the best record in the AL, but man, the series went great. I had some highs and lows over the past couple days, but it is good to be home. Noodle the Doodle Dog, Just the Doodle Mom, myself, some Yankees baseball. Jim, even seeing your smiling, bubbly face is putting a little lead in my pencil right now. So
wow.
I'm doing well. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Like I said, I'm happy. I have jeans on right now. I'm dressed for
Nice.
real world. Yeah. I'm pretty much a jeans off inside the house forever and always, but I went outside today because I had to go to Red Bank for a kind of a fun meeting, and so I had to dress like a normal human, and it's so nice out. It's like fall weather. Do you know when we were after the Oakland series, I was miserable. The internet was terrible, and I dropped the line to you. I said, if I wake up and it's 80 degrees again, I'm going to be so pissed. We're 3 days in a row. Haven't had it.
It's
very exciting.
It's wild, man. It's August to Labor Day used to be such a different thing when you're younger, because normally, like in the Northeast, that's kind of the start of school time. But normally, like Labor Day is a big, it's obviously like the end of summer weekend, right?
Yeah.
But for what we're doing now, I don't know if it's just how we look at it or maybe it's a getting older thing, but it feels pretty crazy. It feels like going midsummer to fall in the snap of a fingers.
I'm the opposite. This couldn't be dragging out any worse for me. I'm miserable. I want fall.
Oh, no. I'm not. I didn't say that at all. I'm just saying, like a week ago, it felt like the midst of summer, like exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
you were sweating and dripping and now, I mean, a week from now, it's going to be Labor Day.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the real stuff. This episode of Talking Yanks is brought to you by 6 beautiful people. First one, Chelsea Meister.
The Meister.
Next one, Simon Spine. With a P in front of Simon and a Y. I ain't falling for that, Simon. You want me to say Simon? It's a silent P. It's like pneumonia. That's Simon Spine.
That's an anagram for Lord Voldemort. I don't know what that is.
Robert Mack.
Yep.
Bobby Mack. Wow, Bobby Mack. It's fantastic.
Mack.
Angel or Angel. Probably Angel. Lindsey Geller.
All right.
I thought I dated a Lindsey Geller once.
It's Ross and Monica's cousin.
I went and checked. I didn't date a Lindsey Geller.
Close call.
Close call. I went and checked. Scoured Facebook. And Sydney Mook. She's been around forever. What's up, Sid?
Thanks, Sydney.
Those are our most recent Patreon sponsors, subscribers, whatever you want to call them. They support us, and we really appreciate it. It's $2 a month. Go to patreon.com/talkingyanks. You can hang out. You get a chance to win a jersey and twice every month. One via contest, one via raffle. The contest was how many wins will the Yankees have by the end of the road trip. Currently, they are 2-4, but there's 3 left to go in Seattle, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Go do that if you want. There's other perks like early access to our event. That early access is now closed, and the event is open to the public. So if you want to come to a game with Jake and I and the whole Talking Yanks community on September 17th, it is a Tuesday game versus the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So you can see Mike Trout play. He's pretty good, but not as good as Mikey Talkman. It's all you can eat, all you can drink for 90 minutes before the game starts. So, like, we got to get the pregame together in a group in center field, and then we have tickets in left field, box seats. It's going to be a lot of fun. So there were tickets available. They're going pretty fast. The patrons scooped up a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, so go get them because I don't know how many are still available. But that'll be fun.
All you can drink beer. Do want to clarify that there was an all you could drink beer and wine package, but it only came with hot dogs. So we got a good food package: tenders, burgies, dogs, all you could drink beer, and it's the Mike T Bowl. So we're excited, and those are now available to the public.
Yeah. So we have, Jake, on the first little segment of the show here that I'm going to play a random sound effect for.
Okay.
Maybe I was going to do the sad trombone for it, but I don't think I'm going to.
No,
I'm just going to do this one. It's called Crowd Ambiance. Okay. This doesn't work. Stop it, Jimmy. The injury update, Jake. The injury update is awesome. It's fantastic. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
So the first one is that Luke Voit should be back Friday for the homestand. They're not going to fly him out to Seattle. They pretty much said that, we're in no rush, but go play. In his first game at AAA, he had a home run. His next game, I think he went 2 or 3 for 5. He's probably feeling good. The results are good. He'll be back. By the time the Yankees don pinstripes, Voit will be back in them with the team. That's very exciting. The next piece of news is wild. Jordan Montgomery started his rehab. When they told me, he got Tommy John last year, if you forgot, nicknamed Gumby, Jordan Montgomery, Monty, whatever you want to call him. He was doing really good, and then he had a setback, and when he had that setback, I completely wrote him off for this season. Right. I was like, okay, Gumby's gone for next season. I didn't even know that this was a plan. I don't think they really promoted it as a plan. It was like, oh, by the way, Gumby's starting a game for High A today in Tampa.
So you and I haven't talked about this. Where are you on Gumby? Because I was in the same boat with you because he was doing Tommy John. He had that setback, and you and I just washed our hands. He throws 2 innings. What do you think?
He threw 2 clean innings. He had 2 or 3 strikeouts. So it's High A. He sat at 93 miles per hour, Jake.
Yeah.
He averaged...
He threw at 90.
He threw. His fastball sat at 93. When he was with the Yankees in 2017 and the first half of 18, he sat 91. He's throwing harder. I don't know, man. Now, Cashman made a point to say that Gumby is ahead of Sevy in the timetable. But I don't know if they see Sevy coming up to the MLB and helping the team. That might not be the plan. But he's a lefty. If he can give you 2 innings... probably better than Happ, maybe. Actually, we don't know, but maybe. I'd give it a shot out of the pen. He has the highest release point in Major League Baseball. So he's it's a quirky lefty coming out of the pen. Oh, fuck, that sounds fun. I'm getting so ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Because, who knows? The plan could not even be for him to be in the MLB at all this year. Hey, just build it up. get back into the rhythm. Next year, you're part of it. But I was shocked to hear that he was pitching in a game.
Here's what I feel confident about. If and this is all obviously barring he continues to rehab and stay healthy, right? Is that Gumby finds his way on the roster for September. They get some innings out of him. Potentially, I think what we're going to see is, and Domingo and even the other starters, just getting them. I think we're going to see some extra rest days, whether it's mixing in a bullpen day, whether it's having an opener day, whether it's there's an off day and they want to get an extra rest day. I think you're going to see the Yankees not really skip starts, but space starts out a little more. And I think Gumby can work his way in there. And I mean, you need guys to throw innings, and you're going to have the roster spots. The best case, or I guess my maximum where I have Gumby, and maybe he can prove me wrong, man. I mean, maybe he comes up and he looks good, and we need somebody to throw. My best case scenario for Gumby right now would be he comes in, he looks good, and he can beat out either Hap, Sessa, or whoever it is for the 25th man spot or the last pitcher on the playoff. I think that's your best case for Gumby, and I don't think there's high odds on that, but I mean it's baseball.
Yeah, it's interesting. The next one is that Sevy touched like 99 in his rehab or 98. Felt really good. Looked good. That's fun. And so Sevy's still on path, and I think he's gonna, kind of build up arm strength in with the club in the MLB. So that's exciting. Stanton is going to do on-field activities in Seattle. So it's just one step closer. It's nothing crazy, but they seem to have a plan with Stanton. So all the injury news is pretty good right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the only guy that we left out that I think this technically happened before.
Well, we left a lot out. Edwin and Hicks as well.
Well, Edwin and Hicks and Dellin. I mean, Dellin threw the 2 simulated innings. What was it? 2 16-pitch innings or something like that. So, yeah, man, it's again, it's knock on wood, or if you're into the power of prayer or whatever, but everything has sounded good of late. And yeah, it's gotten to the point where the Twitter question has come back like, well, so who's the odd man out in this lineup? And it's like, you know what? Let's wait until Edwin Encarnacion's on the field after his wrist injury. Let's see if Giancarlo Stanton can take live batting practice. All right. So before you start playing that game,
we're in a good place though. We're in a good place with the injuries. We're winning. People are performing, and we don't have to rush anyone back.
No.
They may try to rush Stanton and Edwin, but I don't think we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Last year, I was very scared about Judge not being part of the postseason. I don't feel that way about Stan and Edwin. Now, they'd be big upgrades, big perks, but I don't feel the same way I did about Judge last year. I was like, they need to get this dude back.
Yeah, and that's and again, I don't want to be the bad guy here, Jim, but we did this conversation. What was it when the team got healthy for the first time? Was it middle of June, start of July? That Stanton came back and we had that power lineup. And I said it. I was like, more injuries and stuff are going to happen, and it did. So I don't know. I know that game gets exciting. Root for everyone to get healthy because the guys we're talking about are really good players, and these aren't shots fired. Mike Ford's been doing some really nice stuff, but Edwin Encarnacion's a lot better than him. Tyler Wade, currently on the roster. I know, doppelganger and all of that, but, there's some guys I would take over him. Giancarlo Stanton, the former MVP. So let's see who's healthy and who's there. And, yeah, like you were saying, Jim, the Yankees have a little bit of luxury because I don't think rush is the right word because I don't want them rushing Giancarlo Stanton for no reason. But I think the word rush would be used like, hey, if Giancarlo Stanton's healthy and there's nowhere to really rehab him at Double A. There's 2 weeks left in the season. We can almost rehab him on the major league level. Like, take your 2 at-bats and get out of the game. So the Yankees do have some luxury in that if we get there, but let's get there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's the injury update. We're done.
Nice.
It's not that bad. I'm excited.
You gonna play the crowd noise again?
Yeah. What was that I played?
It's good stuff, man.
I thought it was going to be like someone cheering. It's just ambient crowd noise, like it says.
Just crowd noise.
That if we just say we're doing a live show and I play that in the background the whole time.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Live at Central Perk. It's John Boy and Jake. We're talking Yanks. Thanks for joining us live here today, guys. Okay, go away. All right, we did it. We're live. That was crazy.
That was nuts.
Nuts. All right, let's do the fun stuff. Let's burn these games. I am excited.
You want to burn the games then?
Yeah, let's do it, Jake.
All right.
Game 1, Yankees in LA. Big shit happening. On your mark. Get set. Burn.
Game 1, Yankees-Dodgers, New York, Los Angeles, as 2 of the best teams in baseball face off. And never mind New York and LA, Jim. How about Canada versus South Korea? James Paxton, the Big Maple, faces off with Hyun-Jin Ryu as the first of 3 outside Hollywood. Hey, LA, let's introduce you to a couple guys you've heard of in the third. Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez. Call them Jesse J and Ariana Grande because bang, bang into the room. 2-0 Yanks. Jim, the pride of Hebron, Connecticut. A.J. Jackson Pollock. RBI 2-1. Are we going to have a game here? No. Yanks put on a grand performance. When I say grand, Jim, I mean it. Sir Didi, Merrickson, Gregorius, Grand Salami, Gardy, RBI double, yawn. Oh yeah, LA, why don't you meet this fella too? Glaber bomb. Didi hits another later in the ninth just for funsies. And Jim, another solid Paxton start. Eyes emoji. Pax to Canley to the Hialeah kid. Nestor show? Yanks get to Ryu. Take game 1, 10-2 final.
Real nice game 1. A real nice game 1. Ryu, best pitcher at home. Did you see his ERA? Oh, no. I'm only going to do this once because I think it's obnoxious, but I got littered with we're doomed.
Yep.
There's no way we win this series with Ryu and Kershaw going. I got bombarded with people that had no faith, and I said on this show and the pregame show, why would you not have faith? If anyone's going to beat Ryu and Kershaw, it's the Yankees. They're the best team in baseball. It's not a shock. We should not be shocked that the Yankees won these games this series. That's the only time I'm going to say it because I know it's annoying to be like, oh, I told you so. But fucking let's have faith in the good team that is the New York Yankees. Getting to Ryu is awesome. Judge with another homer. I called that on the pregame show with Joe's who filled in with you, for you. It's good stuff, man. And I mean, Paxton's going to get talked about a lot later. I will say this. I was shocked at the Dodgers lineup. Game 1. I understand like their lineup's different for lefties, so it was a little different, but when I saw that Bellinger bats 4th, which he does for all the time, and then Muncy was 5th, it's like Paxton gets to do a first inning without facing Bellinger, without facing their 2 best hitters? This is great. Like, I was shocked that that's how they do it. Why do they have Bellinger bat 4th?
Jim, it's been... I think it's been labeled part of their problem because I think over the course of the regular season you can mix up the lineups and they have guys play a lot of different positions and stuff. But, I mean, and this isn't a shot at David Freese, he's having another nice year. But, you know, when you see guys like David Freese higher in the order than Cody Bellinger, who might win the MVP this year, it's kind of shocking. And I mean – dude, remember the Red Sox series last year? That was one of the big stories. So I don't know. The Dodgers kind of have their formula, and that's what they do. But yeah, I mean, there's when it doesn't work, it just seems like you're doing the other team a huge favor.
Yeah, I was so happy. I was like, damn, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Bellinger's hits fourth, and then I like looked at it. And he hits fourth all the time. Like,
yeah,
fantastic. It's less at bats, and we don't have to see him in the first inning. That was kind of confusing. Um, but yeah, Paxton was fantastic, man. So good. And then intentionally, Gary hits the home run from his knee, fastest to 100, second fastest to 100, fastest catcher. Walking Gary to get to Didi. Now that's just the biggest fucking gut punch. I mean, a grand slam is always a gut punch. Bring the game from 2-1 to 6-1. That's always, gonna be a blow. But when it's you intentionally walk Gary and then Didi jumps on the very first pitch, there's a little added emphasis to that gut punch. That was fantastic.
yeah. I mean, Didi with the bases loaded and first pitch. I mean, you got to know better than that. The Dodgers. I know.
It was middle from Rio. It was like,
I know NLAL and all that stuff, but come on. I mean, listen to some talking Yanks and figure it out a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's huge. And again, I mentioned earlier all the talk about who's going to be the odd man out in this totally healthy Yankees team, and some people think it's Didi. I don't want to spoil it for you. I mean, unless it's a tough lefty, it's not, because Didi does some pretty special stuff at shortstop, and he's a really good hitter. The dude missed half the season. He didn't have a spring training or everything. You take out his first 100 at bats. Well, Jake, you're cutting out stats again. Well, there's kind of a reason, people. That's why we do that game, because you're looking for things. And yeah, man, Didi. And Didi can't hit away from the stadium. Gary's a bum, even though he's the fastest American League player ever to hit.
I didn't know that one. I saw your tweet where you were coming at the haters. I didn't know that people were saying Didi can't hit away from Yankee Stadium.
So his stats now, they look good on the road this year, but all of his home runs are to right field. Like Didi doesn't hit opposite field home runs, so people tie that into Yankee Stadium and everything.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah,
Who cares?
he plays there.
That's why they traded for him. Like they traded for Didi because
that guy.
they thought his swing would fit Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
and it does. Why are we complaining about it? Why is that? I hadn't run into that one. I was looking at your tweet and I was like, oh, and I was like, wait, people are saying that about Didi? I didn't know that, but cool.
Yeah. So, Judge guy, also good. Might talk about him more.
Yeah, Boone's decisions here. So he lets Paxton go into the seventh inning, which is good. He was going batter by batter there, and once what happened? There's a ground out, right? So fly ball. The Chris Taylor hit a double, and then Paxton. Oh, he gets the ground out, but his pitch count was pretty high through 109 pitches. I liked it. I liked letting him go batter by batter because if he could have got 1, 2, 3, then he gets the seventh inning. That might have been the deal there. Like, hey, you get 3 batters, get him out. You get to 110 pitches, and then you bring in Canely. He gave up a double right away to Kike, but whatever. Then he gets out of it. I was fine with that. Then I was a little upset that they went to Nestor because I was saying Britton needs to work. Are they hiding an injury or something like that? Like Britton hasn't pitched in 7 days now. I'm wrong because Britton came out on his long rest and looked phenomenal 2 outings in a row. So, but I was saying at the time I would have gotten Britton an inning of work in this game just because he hadn't pitched in so long. It turns out didn't need it. I'm wrong. I'm a big dummy. Nestor comes in. Nestor actually has 2 good innings. So at that point they had subbed out Bellinger and stuff. Like it was only 9-2. They subbed him out because Paxton made him look like a fool. But I liked all of Boone's moves. I didn't think he messed anything up here.
Yeah, and I think it's funny. We always we always talk about how the Yankees value rest, and that comes out in a lot of different fashions. And I think part of this road trip, when the four horsemen weren't really getting used, I think it shifted a little bit to like, well, let's give these guys a break then.
Yeah.
If we need them, we'll need them. But hey, if we're going to give them that much rest, we might as well keep it going. So, I mean, if you can let the Hialeah kid rip it on Players Weekend.
Oh, do you want to talk about the jerseys at all? We haven't talked about that.
I mean, we have to a little. Yeah, let's talk about it.
It's bad. I mean, it's a dead horse now because I think everyone said they were bad. Francona said he was embarrassed to make a pitching change. A lot of managers came out and said they were like who okayed this?
Yeah.
I don't really get it. So I tweet out like it's supposed to be colorful and fun and like personality driven, and you have them looking like they're playing prison yard baseball or something like that. And people were like, well, that's the thing. They said they were going to give them a blank canvas so that their personality would shine. It's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Were you going to let them put stickers on their jerseys or something? Because then that would work. You gave them a blank canvas and didn't allow them to color it in. It's terrible. The whites, the blacks grew on you a little bit. The whites were horrible. You got to go look up Craig Counsell wearing it, Jake. He looks like 2003 extra in Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy video.
Lucky. Yeah, I think that is funny. You're right. Like that all black that ends up looking kind of cool. More importantly, you could see the numbers and the nicknames, which I think that's something we should be pushing on Players Weekend, is being able to know who it is. And I mean, it's so laughable, Jimmy. If we went back in time and if it was the year's 1890 and we were at a baseball game and we showed up in an all white uniform, they'd say, "Oh, you can't play in all white. That makes it tough to see the baseball." That would be like the only thing they tell us. And here we are 130 years later, testing out the all white unis, and it's like, how did no one think of that? So yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. The dead horse got beat. I think the black unis were kind of a win. The white painter outfits, like you call them, basically a major loss. And then again, baseball they don't connect some of these dots that need to be connected. Like I know we had some fun with it, but like you can't have Tyler Wade coming up to the plate with a silver bat and they just go, "No, illegal." Like what? Like what are we doing, people? So I don't know. I think when Players Weekend is still a fairly new thing, right? A couple years ago was the first time, or even last year. I don't know.
This is the third year.
Okay. So it's a good concept. It's a fun concept, but
the cleats are cool.
Yeah, the cleats are cool, and I'm not going to actually get worked out about it, but it is so baseball that at the end of Players Weekend, that should be this pinnacle of fun stuff on the baseball field. The story from baseball's Players Weekend is, the white unis, you couldn't see anything and they were pretty dumb. Like, that's just baseball in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty bizarre. All right, let's burn game 2. This was a fun one.
Let's burn game 2 then.
Here we go. On your mark. Get set. Burn.
The big man, CC Sabathia versus Tony Gonsolin. Hey, that guy owes me money. But you know who else is money, Jim? It's not Judy. It's not Mathis. It's not Sotomayor. It's Aaron Judge. The big man is en fuego. That means on fire, baby. Check out Talking Baseball on all podcast apps. That put the Yanks down 1 due to a Justin Turner 2-run job in the third, in what would turn out to be a pitcher's duel at Chavez Ravine. Jim, top 9. It's still 2-1 Dodgers. Didi strikes out bunting, okay, but we get some traffic on the bases. I turned into Regis Philbin here, and chaos. Guardian to second. He beats the throw, but he was called out, and a fake time was called. Glaber scores, but he doesn't. Oh, no. Big Kenley Jansen comes back. He strikes out the last 2 batters. Jim, the Yanks lose in maybe controversial fashion for the first time this year, 2-1 Doyers.
Controversial.
It's a tough word.
Controversial?
Controversial.
Yeah, I don't think it's seal. I think it's controversial.
No, but I feel like people like to say the seal version. I feel like they feel like that's more powerful. Controversial.
I never heard it before.
All right.
But yeah, man, this game, it's a good baseball game. Good baseball game. Let's start at the top. CC versus what's his name? Gonsolin, who's climbing up my leaderboard of pitchers I do not like. One looks like
we got to get you an all pirate team. So
yeah, right. Like you did your Hot Boys of Summer. I might have to do my all pirate team.
all pirate team of summer.
Did you hear like all the facts about him? Dude loves cats.
Let's hear him.
He loves cats. He's obsessed with cats. He calls Saturday Catterday, and he like uses like the word cat. There's a lot of puns, and he's got multiple cats, and fucking looks like a pirate. And he's growing on my least favorite players in baseball.
Tony Gonsolin.
Fucking, I love cats, guys. That's my thing. Okay, shut up.
Well, we're not friends, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was going to be able to come to your apartment. Now I can't. Now I can't come to your apartment, Tony.
He's not a hot boy. He was a gross boy.
The debut of Corey Guerin. CC looked good. His line sucked because they took him out because it's the National League and they didn't want him to hit again. He was through 78 pitches. He had like one tough inning. The home run to Turner kind of sucks. He hung a pitch and Turner hit it out. But other than that, he had 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. I think, if he completes the 5th there, I think we're looking at that and saying, hey, that's what we expect from CC. And the only reason he didn't even get a chance to go out for the 5th is because, his time in the order was coming up and all that stuff. So, and the rest of the bullpen. So, I'm not upset with CC's outing. It's not great. He gave up, 2-run homer, whatever.
Yeah, and again, I mean, our view of CC is starting to mold where, if you are starting to dream of a playoff roster, CC might be the one going into a Nestor Cortez role / coming in just to get a lefty. And, that's kind of if the Yankees are up in a playoff game 11-2 and they need 3 innings, hey, toss it to Big C. That might be fun.
Yeah. John in the chat says second start after the IL, so it might have been a pitch limit thing. That's true. Maybe that's true. The debut of Corey Guerin, if you don't know who that is, they sent Johnny Lasagna down. They picked Corey Guerin up off waivers. He's like a sidearm thrower, and he's got the most arm side run. So if you're a righty, it goes from left to right, like a two-seamer, on his two-seamer in the MLB, they said. It's crazy. So they think they have a fix for Corey Guerin for a little bit at least. So he's like their latest project. He comes in, ground out, fly ball, single to Will Smith, and then Chad comes in to clean it up. But that's something of note, I guess. The Yankees bats.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing about Guerin is that people need to know is like he's a major leaguer. He's been in the major league since 2011. 288 career relief innings. There's 2 starts in there, but I think they're opener starts. I'm not going to throw this in the prospect hugger's face, Jim, but there was people that were telling us in spring training that why would you go out and get pitching when Johnny Lasagna is going to have a huge year? That's not exactly how baseball works. Right now, the Yankees would rather have journeyman Corey Guerin in their bullpen than Johnny Els because they just don't. He's got all the talent in the world, but they don't know what they're going to get out of him right now. So, I don't know, exiling a couple of our fans real quick.
Those aren't our fans. Those kids, I have them blocked on Twitter. I hate that kid.
Boom roasted.
It's like with the only person. No, but I mean, with that, Corey Guerin could be gone and Lasagna could be just back up, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Oh, yeah.
It's like nothing. Chad Green threw 30 pitches again. That's 3 outings in a row for Chad, stretched out to 30-plus pitches. That has to be by design. I think they want to keep him stretched out. He faced 1, 2, he faced 6 batters and had 4 strikeouts. He looked pretty good. His slider was nasty. It was really good.
No hits, no walks, 4 Ks. Yep, all
Yeah.
day.
Ottavino comes in. He walks a guy, then gets the 2-0 pop out. Fine. Britton has a fantastic inning. And then all the drama comes in the 9th when Kenley Jansen's up. Yanks are down 1. Didi takes the 3-1 pitch, which I think was a ball high, and tries to bunt for a double because when it went 3-1, they shifted even more. I'm fine with that. I'm not like in love with that move from Didi there on 3-1 pitch, but I'm fine with it. 3-2 tries to do it again, and that's when you can't do that. And he was pretty Didi was pretty defensive in his post-game interview. Like, well, if I was confident to do it 3-1, I'm confident to do it 3-2. I'm a team player, if it works out, that's great for the team, and that's what I was trying to do, help the team. And anyone who thinks that that's move is otherwise, blah, blah. He was like pretty defensive. But here's the thing, Didi. If you do it 3-2, you got to get it down. Don't even try to ride the foul line. Like, you got to put that thing in play. Because that's a free out against a pitcher who you had in a 3-1 count. And you hit 2 home runs the game before.
Yeah, and Jim, what you just said was a good point. The 3-2, you have to get it down. I know that sounds obvious, but I think, and I just stumbled into this thought as I do with many. 3-1, if you want to go for the slap double, sure. 3-2, if you really believe in that, you're going for a slap single.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be thinking about the slap double. And Jim, that's the thing where I am surprisingly not too mad at it, because if Didi does get that down, which he gave it 2 good attempts. It didn't work out, but they were close. Jim, if he does do that, I think we're here like, damn, Didi's got it all, man. He's got the stones to do that. How many times last year were we asking guys when we needed a base runner, like, Greg Bird, just lay down that bunt, man. It's right there for you. I don't know. Didi saw an opportunity, 1 run in the 9th. It obviously sucked. The result sucked. And if you're going to do that 3-2, you're absolutely right. Like, you can't leave it to chance. And he did, and he screwed up. So, I'm just picturing if he does get that bunt, and, we're talking a game of angle on the bunt there where he catches that just a little bit differently and he does get a double down the line. I think right now we're screaming from the walls about big balls Didi Gregorius. Instead, you look like an idiot.
Yeah, my thing was, like, Jansen was not finding the zone. So anyway, then Gleyber Torres takes a little off-speed pitch, singles. Brett Gardner, off-speed pitch to first base. They can't make the play. 2 on. Gio Urshela grounds 1 to third. They throw it to second to get the force out. Gardner goes in hard, takes out Muncy. Actually, Gardner was safe. He beat the throw. Muncy goes down as he's laying on the ground. He lays down for a little longer than he should have. And Gleyber sees that, tries to go home. They call timeout. I'm kind of nauseated from this already because Dodgers fans, this is a Yankee community, so it's a little different. Dodgers fans, like, I don't know why Dodgers fans were upset. Yankees fans are trying to figure out the rule about when and who can call timeouts. You guys won. Just enjoy your win. I have no harm or ill will against whatever you guys are doing. It seems like bullshit to me, and I just don't get it. So Gleyber never retouches third. So he's running, right, the entire time. He's kind of backtracking a little bit. He sees Muncy's not getting up. Now, it makes it worse that Muncy has admitted he laid down just a little bit of soccer to, like, fake it. Good job, Muncy, but that sucks. Jansen kind of turns and asks for time from the ump, which all pitchers do at all times to get the new ball. Like, that's not special to this situation. Pitcher and a catcher and any infielder, like, putting their hands up and looking at that happens almost every play. Time, okay, new ball, The ump has to grant time, so it has no bearing on when the Dodgers call it. Because that's not the rule. The rule is that it's timeout when the ump calls it. The ump was on delay and calls it after Glaber breaks. He never even stopped. It just seems very convenient that Muncy can lay there and they can call time after Glaber breaks. If Muncy was actually injured, is scoring that run there like good? No. But the thing is, Muncy wasn't actually injured, and that sets an even worse precedent. So the whole thing's kind of sloppy.
Yeah, and you do start to wander into some gray areas, right? Because it's kind of like remember the Cameron Maben swinging bunt he had the other day that the umpires said it was a double hit and it like wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Like the MLB needs to work on. The NFL has done this when there's a fumble in the NFL, they play it out as a fumble. Because if you mess it up and you say it's no fumble, but it was, that makes it a lot harder to review.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened here. And I mean, it is really tricky because it was a bang play at second. But I think basically when they called Gardner out and then there is the collision, I mean, it's almost like a semi-interference on Gardy, yet when he's safe, like Gardy's entitled to the bag, so it wouldn't be at all. So the whole thing got messy. It was an ugly play that does end up in some gray areas. But you're right. Like you had it. Glaber never retouched third. And I don't know, man. It just felt like one of those little league plays where you can picture like, you know, the whoever's buddy's dad is the coach of your 8-year-old team. And they're like, hey, get the ball to the pitcher in the infield because the play can still go on. Like they can keep running if they want. And the Yankees did, and they would have scored. But
yeah, on most plays, Muncy takes that ball if he's in pain and tosses it to the closest player to him. Like, hey, I'm hurt. You take this.
Yeah.
And play goes on until like it's officially dead. Like runners are stationary. That's how it normally plays out. So I don't know. It's weird. Like I'm not saying they're going to protest. The Yankees blew a ton of chances after that. Tauchman, all he needed to do was hit a ball in the air. He strikes out on the cutters, and then Gary the same thing, swinging at those 92-mile-per-hour cutters that don't look special. But what do I know? I mean, there's a lot of chances. Glaber could have ran on the pass ball earlier. There's a lot of things. So that's like where Dodgers fans were also like, why don't you complain about this? And I'm like, well, I will.
Yeah.
Those are also bad. But it's a very confusing play. I'm trying to figure it out. Because it seems like you just call time now if you're on the ground, and then no runners can advance ever. And anyone can call time. Like, if Muncy called time and the second base ump granted Muncy that time, then I get it. But that's not how it happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing was a mess. And I don't know, it sucks. And like you said, I mean, you know, and it was a good game. I mean, Mike Tauchman hit a ball that we thought was also out earlier in this game. Brett Gardner hit one to the wall that Bellinger made a great catch on. So I don't know. It was good baseball. It kind of sucks that the main part of the conversation is about that last play that did look like a messy little league play, but it's how it went down. And yeah, you said that great, Jim. Yankee fans you shouldn't be pointing at the Dodgers and saying that game got stolen from us. No, the Yankees had their chances to win it. It just sucks that it went down like it did.
Yeah. And I'm still confused about the ruling and the precedent it sets. And I've gone through the rule book like a million times. So many people send in and it's like, okay. They're all kind of just all vague for vagueness point. So whatever.
Yeah. I encourage, if you're someone who's really into baseball rules, go just for funsies, go and take the umpire test because you will be blown away by how much crap can happen on a baseball field that you would not believe how many rules there have to be. It's insane.
Yeah. All right, let's go to game 3. I was pretty excited for this. Sunday Night Baseball. I don't love Sunday Night Baseball, but it is Yankees-Dodgers. That is fun and rare. And the series was tied, which makes for a fun circumstance. And it's Domingo versus Kershaw. So, I mean,
And Jim, I'm not saying this in a bullying way, but I think this series was better baseball than you expected coming into it.
I didn't expect bad baseball.
Well, I think like even intensity level, I think these games were equal to Oakland.
Yeah, I do. I do think I was a bit wrong. The fanfare, the guest was A-Rod at game one in the booth. I
Yeah.
thought they were gonna like that was awesome. So I was really happy with that. Like Corey Guerin made his debut, so it wasn't like they weren't like playoff games.
Right.
But it was good baseball for sure. I thought games
Good
2 and 3 were
baseball.
really good baseball.
Crowd was having a good time.
It was a good regular season baseball game. They kept. I hate when the announcers lie like this feels like a playoff game. No, it doesn't. You know what feels like playoff games? Playoff games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't manufacture that. I will say the Dodgers crowd was really loud though. They brought a lot of energy. That was good.
That game three crowd was starting to get close to playoff vibes. And I mean,
I mean, did you have any like? I'd maybe that what that means to me means different to other people. Like, did you have any sense of panic or like you were going to be
I'm not saying
heartbroken or you were living and dying on every pitch?
I'm just saying the crowd was loud, man.
Yeah. So okay. So
Good
that's
crowd.
when people say it feels like a playoff game. That to me means like
No, I
fucking,
mean it
like,
doesn't. The
edge of
Yankees
your
don't
seat.
get a win. They don't get a win for a playoff game there. No, be cool if they did it.
Crowd was loud. That nice.
Crowd was loud.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to game 3 and talk about it. Here's the burn. On your mark. Get set.
Domingo on Domingo Herman versus the pride of Highland Park, Texas, Clayton Kershaw, as two of the winningest pitchers of this MLB season on two of the winningest teams of this MLB season meet up for a rubber match in California. Buckle up. First batter of the game, the big fundamental, DJ 26 with another hit. But you know what, Jim? Leadoff homers? Yeah. How about young Jock? Jock Peterson says, I'll have what he's having. Also a leadoff home run. It's 1-1 after 1. Top 3, he's back. Aaron Judge, third straight game with a homer. 2-1 Yanks. Jim, both pitchers were grooving. Really good baseball. That Kershaw curveball is fun. But Jim, top 6, Mike Ford batting for Didi after he got hit by a pitch earlier, and he is built for tough. He gets Clayton Kershaw into the seats. 3-1 Yanks. Top 8. I don't pop Molly. I rock Mike Ford again. This time it's an RBI double. Are you kidding me? The Yanks pen goes bedtime mode because they were lights out, Jim. Gio bloops in a Geico run just for schlitz and giggles. Herman to Vino to Canely to Britton to Chapman. Yanks win 5-1. They take 2 out of 3 in LA versus the Dodgers. Let's go, Yanks.
This game was everything you wanted as a Yankee fan. I mean, DJ gets to Kershaw right away. So right away you get a little bit of breathing room. And not like, damn it, are we going to have to wait till Kershaw does his thing and he reaches his pitch limit and then we can try and get the bullpen? Because if Kershaw is like 3 innings, that's what you're doing. Just work the count, get him out of here. But right away, like, ooh, okay, nice. Judge hits another home run. Obviously, Yankee fans want that. Didi getting hit, Yankee fans don't want that. But another replacement. Next man up. Ford goes deep. You want that. And then Domingo has a great outing. But the 4 horsemen, man, were incredible. Every out was a highlight. It was insane. This is how we draw up a good game as the Yankees.
The Britton inning, clinical.
5 pitches.
Is clinical. It's just mean.
Crazy, man.
Tommy Kane, and that's been maybe the most exciting part for me, Jim. In the Dodgers series, and then we played another series recently. It wasn't Oakland. Maybe it was the Twins series. We played another playoff team, and it was Tommy Canely coming into a high leverage situation, and he looked great. And I was like, "Yep, sign me up for that." And I mean, that's what we got in this game too. And it's
So do you like that they split the Otto and Canely inning? Now I believe that if Domingo could only go 6, they were ready, or Domingo could only go 5. They were ready to go the 4 horsemen for the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. But Domingo was looking good. He goes 6 innings. You got 4. Let's use all 4 the best way we know how. And so they give Canely the lefty there to end it. Are you okay with that, or would you rather them just let Otto do it?
I'm fine with that, Jim. They flexed on him. And we talked about the West Coast trip rest days and how it was scary for Britain, ended up looking incredible. No, we flexed on him. Why even bother? Ottavino shoved. He threw the Frisbee up there. I mean, Tommy Canely, man, if there was, maybe I'm a writer now, Jim, but
Wow.
if there was a list of pitchers that you know what's coming and it can't be stopped, Canely's changeup right now. I mean, if he gets 2 strikes, he's not even going to bother with a high fastball. He's not going to bother with a fastball off the plate. He's just going to throw you that changeup because try. If it's out of the zone, try not to swing at it because you probably won't. And if it's in the zone, you're probably not going to touch it either. He was awesome.
He was awesome, huh?
He is. He's this whole season. We kind of forget how great it's been. But and yeah, Jim. I mean, you're so right. We get to walk away from this series. We beat Ryu and Kershaw, and we did it. Jim, it's almost we did it the way that we're supposed to do it, right? Like couple home runs, the bullpen was lights out, and Domingo, I guess, is getting overlooked in that equation because, especially when
I didn't think he looked special. There's a lot of BABIP. Like if we're the Dodgers, we're saying we hit into a lot of bad luck.
not special, but it was a good performance at LA, especially when last episode we were talking about Road Domingo being a thing.
I'm not trying to diminish. It's a great result, but like it wasn't the sharpest, best. Like there's a lot of hard hit balls. Gardner running down that ball in center was huge. I think there was 2 walks and 5 hits. Is that what it was? So like 7 base runners, and I don't know how many Ks he had. It's hitting to a lot of contact, a lot of hard hit outs, but it's good. It's a good result, and I'm happy that it happened. They're saying like the bullpen fucking dominated. Domingo got the job done.
Let me see if I could do some quick math here, Jim. The bullpen pitched 3 innings. 3 innings from the bullpen, 0 hits, only 1 walk, the walk by Chapman when he first came in. But in 3 innings, they recorded 7 strikeouts. So only 2 guys got out not via the strikeout. So, yeah, they flexed on them.
Yeah. Good for them.
Sure.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know. Judge promised a guy a home run and then hit a home run. That's cool.
Oh, and so I found out who the guy was. Did you know this?
Bullpen coach's grandpa or something like that?
Bullpen catcher's dad, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess they're familiar with them, but I don't know, man. People there's Aaron Judge might have a girlfriend. Huge news on Yankees Twitter.
Does have a girlfriend. I know her name. Won't share.
Huge news. Yeah, she is my ex. That's confirmed. But Jim, like Aaron Judge, he lives this ridiculous life. We saw it day 1 at spring training. When he comes out, all eyes are on him. He has to sign. He doesn't have to, but he signs autographs ad nauseum. And he does everything the Yankee / Jeter way. And it's wild to the point that people speculate and they're like, yo, what's Aaron Judge actually like? Because he can't be that dude. Jim, when I found out it was the bullpen catcher, and he talked about the bullpen catcher like he's one of his close friends. He's Aaron freaking Judge, man.
Freaking. Look at Jakey.
I know you don't like the word freaking, but I think it was actually more impactful than the actual F word there. And man, I don't know. He's just a special dude. The guaranteed home run thing, I mean, it is what it is. He said, I'm going to get one for you. I'm sure there's been a couple times when he said that and he hasn't. I know I've had a couple times when I said that and I haven't, which is every time. But he's the best, man.
Yeah, that'll take us right into awards, who are brought to you by our friends over at Roosevelt's. RSVLTS. They don't like vowels. They were the company that provided the Yankees with those Savages shirts on the plane. They got Sandlot ones. They got a ton of shirts that they say and are true conversation starters. You wear a shirt, people are going to say, yo, where'd you get that shirt? That shirt's cool. I want a shirt like that. And I got a whole bunch of them. Pop culture, sports, baseball. If you go to rsvlts.com/johnboy, you will get 20% off your next purchase. They upped it because want to know why, Jake? Because our listeners and our community is so fucking great. He went to the bank, the Roosevelt guy, to do some bank stuff, and the fucking guy at the bank said, "Roosevelt, I heard about you on John Boy."
Wow.
You know how much that helps us? It's fucking crazy. Thanks to that bank guy. Anyway, so it's 15% off. Helped everyone. He's like, let's raise it, dude. People are liking it. So go to rsvlts.com/johnboy. Get yourself some fun shirts. Jake and I are going to get ourselves some. We should do that tomorrow, Jake. We should do that. We should lock up and get our shirts tomorrow. Cool. They are bringing you awards, and the first award that we do here on Talking Yanks is
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
And Jake, you get to go first.
Well, you said it was a good segue. I mean, it should have been my whole conversation. It's Aaron James Judge, Jimmy. I don't know if you know this. He homered in every game this series.
Yeah.
Jim, he pulled another home run, so that over/under voicemail question of 1.5 home runs, we cleared it.
Nice.
It's August. Jim, he looked good, man. Even the singles, the home run to center field. My word.
Did you hear Sterling's call for that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, that was that was worth the price of admission. You gonna bring her up?
Yeah, keep talking. I'll try to bring it up. It's good.
Okay. I mean, he did it. Look at the 3 home runs he hit. Center, and then the curveball, which I saw someone was like, oh, yeah, that Kershaw curveball was a little bit of a meatball. No, it wasn't, man. That was 75 moving, and it was the upper left quadrant. And Judge and Jimmy, that the gif you made of it, the ball jumps off his bat like nobody else's I've seen. And it's because he's a monster.
He's very strong and big.
He's a giant. Guys,
if you took all our muscles, if you took all your muscles and all my muscles in our upper body.
Okay.
All right, so you die and I die. And the people at the morgue cut out all our muscles. And they take all your arm and upper body muscles and they stack them on top of mine. And then they re-sew the skin together. Do you think we're as big as Judge? I don't.
It'd be close.
I don't. I think he's got both of us combined.
It'd be close because I was going to say I was worried about the legs, but I don't know. We've got some meaty legs that I think if we had the right Frankenstein doctor, they could do that. Upper body, I've been putting in that work, and you've got some hidden natural strength from your hockey days and just being a squat guy. So I think there's a chance, but the fact it's a conversation, I think is the point.
Here's the Sterling call.
The 3-2. Swung on and hit it to center. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Wow. What a home run. A Judgian blast. He hit the ball to dead center. It was out when he swung the bat. All rise. Here comes the Judge.
I love when he throws in this. Wow!
Can you just play the start of it again and the hit into center, just how excited he is?
The 3-2. Swung on and hit it to center.
Hit the center. It's good stuff.
Hit it to center.
I like
There's
that
only
guy.
one result there. Yeah, man, and it's I mean it's going to be a topic that gets slaughtered in the next month, and it'll be Aaron Judge is the key to the Yankees' success. And guess what? He's not. If he is great, that's awesome. Um, and I hope he is. And hey, you know what? I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're holding. We're at the parade, and Aaron Judge just went nuts, and we're saying, "Wow, that was incredible." But when he is right, it changes everything.
You don't think Judge is going to help the Yankees win a World Series? What was that? What was that?
Not what I said at all.
You don't think he's a major factor of the Yankees being good? Oh.
I don't think he's the key, and that's what everyone's going to say for the next month. A-Rod was saying it on the broadcast tonight.
I think he's the key. I think if Judge is not,
I
think if Judge is not on the team or not performing at Judge's level, I think the World Series is very, very hard to get.
I think we saw it last year. I mean, Mookie Betts, who had an incredible year for the Red Sox. I mean, as long as when your team is doing things right, and all the Yankees are loaded with talent. I mean, we've still got an IL team that's crazy talented. Like
when judges judge, it lengthens the lineup. I think he likes that.
And that's fine. I mean, every player wants that mentality. I mean, I think Gary Sanchez has that mentality that I can carry the team. I think there's a lot of guys that feel
I think Judge is
a
key.
When Carlos Stanton comes back, he feels that way. I don't think Aaron Judge will be the key if he's not, if he doesn't hit 350 with tons of power in the postseason. This Yankees team can still go on and be great and be fantastic. I mean, it's postseason baseball. It's so many things coming together.
Right now, my keys are Paxton and Judge.
Yeah, and I mean just think about that. What if Sevy comes back and he twirls and he's insane? What if Tanaka?
Well, that wouldn't be right now.
And the bullpen, the bullpen is going to pitch 6 innings a game and be lights out. There's just so many factors that if Judge wants that pressure and he wants to be a beast, knock yourself out. But when he's special, it's unlike anyone else in the game, and it looks like this might be the start of one of those special streaks. And I mentioned the whole thing about the bullpen catcher's dad, so he's a special dude.
In his last 8 games, Judge is hitting .364 with 3 doubles and 4 homers. Thanks, Lindsey Adler, for that stat. Which, yep. I mean, if you didn't know he was going to go off at one time, that's on you. If you were panicking and you really thought Judge wasn't going to go off, that's crazy. I can't believe people really thought that. I'm happy that I stood by it the entire time and said he's going to go off.
So do you think he's fully healthy? Because I know you were on Team Oblique for a while.
I don't know if there was a strict change in approach the Cleveland series. Where he was trying to pull the ball, where we didn't see him even try it before then.
Right.
Either he got fed up with the noise or like the taking it lightly or the approach, but he pulled some balls in that Cleveland series, and then when he went to Oakland, he just kept doing it. And I think it was like a real like drastic where he said either I can do this now. I don't know that. Or he said, fuck it, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? There was a drastic change where he started attempting to pull the ball.
Yeah, I'm just the big old idiot. I thought that the Orioles and the Blue Jays would get him going. No, he was saving it for Oakland and the Dodgers. That's just me being dumb, though.
You're dumb.
Yep, live dumb. Who's your pride of the Skankies?
My pride of the Yankees is James Paxton. I am so happy to give it to James Paxton. What an outing, man. I mean, his first inning, he came out and he was hitting 96, 97, and he was spotting his fastballs. And off of that, worked the slider cutter, worked the knuckle curve. It was really good pitching. He had strategies against batters. You could see him climb the ladder on Bellinger. You can see him walking the dog. I forget who that was, where he threw a slider twice, low and away, and then threw one even more low and away, and just get him like pulling him on the leash to keep swinging. Like it was a plan, and his crispness allowed him to stick to it. Looked really good. I still think he gets up for bigger games. maybe something's different. Maybe he likes the mound. Maybe his leg is healed. Who knows what it is? I think he does have a bit of that closer's mentality where he gets up for big games. I'm interested to see his next game because it's a game that I think he'll get up for, going against the guy that got traded for him in his old ballpark. So that'll be interesting. But man, what an outing. He made Bellinger look silly a couple times, and maybe Bellinger just was going through a slump the same way Judge did, or maybe that was because of Paxton. It's probably both. Just what a performance. And to do that game one after the sweep in Oakland just amplifies it even more in my mind. It was like we needed a stopper. And you don't expect Paxton against the Dodgers, against Ryu, to be that stopper, dude. But he was. I mean, 6.2 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts. I was very happy with Paxton.
Yeah, Jimmy, and he's having a pretty good August. He is 5-0 in August, so the team is also 5-0. Jakey stats coming at you. 3.56 ERA, nothing too crazy. Jim, if you do remember that the one game in Cleveland, he had the 2 outs and he was 1 out away from that classic kind of Paxton bounce back performance. That skews it a little bit, but man, you're right. I think going against his former mates, you could see James Paxton walking away with a 6-0 August, which would be pretty insane. And I think a couple episodes we were talking about how James Paxton can still change how we look at him this season, and if we want to give him the ball in a playoff game. And right now he's working towards that, man. And when his stuff is right, it does look really good. I mean, 11 strikeouts versus the Dodgers. And Jim, this is just a little side note. We got 3 home runs off Kershaw today. That's only the second time this season he's given up 3 home runs. The other time was to the Toronto Blue Jays. Jim, know what also helps is like when you get to face a batter instead of a pitcher instead of a DH. That's a nice little perk for our pitching.
Yeah, it ain't bad. It sucks. It's bad baseball.
Mingo trying to show you up out there today.
He didn't. So yeah, Paxton was fantastic. Very interested in his next start.
Where are you at with Paxton? If the playoffs were tomorrow, you're like, all right, if he's game 3 or game 4, roll it.
Yeah, he definitely deserves to get a start. He's been better than he makes me feel.
Right.
His results are better than how he makes me feel watching him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like when you step back from the emotion, you're like, okay, that wasn't that bad, but it felt shitty for a little bit.
Yeah. That first inning stuff is still gnarly.
I still think he will get up for a big game. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I've thought that for a while. So I still kind of think that.
I think that is pretty funny too. If he finishes out the season pretty strong, he'll probably end up having an ERA that's like 4.1, something like that, 4.2, if he has a strong finish. And then like he can totally decide what Yankee fans really think about him come October, and ain't that it?
That's what you live for. The Scott Brocious effect. Do we remember how bad Brocious was in like 98?
I don't, James.
No, because you just remember the playoffs and how good he was.
I think about his bare hands pretty much every day. Ooh, there's a good soundboard.
Wow. You think anyone thinks about your bare hands?
No. Oh my God, no.
1999, Scott Brocious had a 247 average and a 307 on base percentage, 722 OPS. Not brutal. Not good at all.
Guy's a bum.
Yeah. Is this the year? Is this the correct year? In the postseason, he had 2 home runs, a triple, 5 RBIs.
It's the Padres.
Yeah. So that's what Paxton is hoping for. He can fully redeem himself and come out of this season a hero. Like, it's still on the table.
You get rid of 5 bad April, May starts with 1 good October start.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get rid of them all so quick. All right. Who is your...
You Yankee motherfucker.
This is tough, Jim. This is tough. We had a nice winning series, which we did need. Times would be a little tougher if we lost this series to the Dodgers. My Yankee MFer, man. Ooh. Putting me in a tight spot here. Okay. Oh, God. Gonna get me in trouble. Actually, you know what? All right, Mike Talkman. Someone has to get it. He didn't have a good series. So that's like all I have to say about it. Because I don't actually care.
Okay. Mike Talkman. Wow.
That's how you give a Yankee MFer.
Why'd you give it to him? Because you hate his guts?
Just bad series. And the other guy that was an option in my head, I think I gave him the MFer last week, so I didn't want to double up.
Okay.
Who's your Yankee MFer?
My Yankee MFer's Didi.
Wow.
2 home runs in game 1. I think we tie that game without controversy if Didi just takes the walk or gets a hit. Jansen was on the ropes, and he gave him an easy out. Gave him an easy out.
You are going to get chewed up for this.
I mean, it's a great series, and I think the biggest mistake that was made was Didi trying to lay down a bunt with 2 strikes in the 9th inning of a 1-run game. I love Didi. His home run, his grand slam was fantastic. You're searching for motherfuckers. Can't really find anyone that did poorly.
Led the team in RBIs this series. He took a hit by pitch for the team to get Mike Ford in so he could win game 3. I mean, that's wow.
I think it's the worst decision making in this series.
Ooh.
Oh. I agree with you. Didi did way more good than bad. But, hey, some guys didn't do any bad. You gave it to Mike Talkman just on a whim.
I mean, wow.
Wow.
Nice. Good MFer.
Yeah, nice. Regular old awards?
Regular old awards. Jim.
Yeah.
Who should I give the first one to? Who needs it? Who wants it?
I don't know.
I am going to give my first award is the I Don't Want to Wait in Vain for Your Love award.
That's a lot to type. I don't want to wait in vain for your love award. Okay, great. Got it. It's in the books. You think this is your longest award of the season?
It's got to be up there. And you could have potentially abbreviated them when you've typed them in before. But, yeah, I mean, it's got to be.
I am not an abbreviation guy. You're the acronym guy. You gave the Jimmy Missed Me for Pride of the Yankees award. That was technically longer.
Yeah.
Once. And, yeah, I think that's since your longest award. Wow, good job.
Nice.
The wordsmith. Who gets the I Don't Want to Wait in Vain for Your Love?
That's part of Bob Marley and the Wailers song, which has been stuck in my head ever since Jack Curry tweeted out that Romine was playing it like a week ago in the locker room. Jim, there was a special play today that you mentioned in passing that I'd like to talk about. And the thing that jumped out in the replay were the veins from his neck. Brett Gardner in that catch in center field today. You mentioned that like that was a big play for Mingo. That really was. That ball doesn't get caught. We're in a totally different ball game, and we love Brett Gardner. We haven't been shy of that in the good times and the bad last year.
In good times, in bad times, We'll be by your side forevermore. 'Cause that's what Brett Gardner fans are for.
We stood by Brett Gardner. He's again playing center field, which he's not supposed to be doing, and he's doing a great job out there. And Jim, he's just Gardy. He's the heart and soul of the team. You had the pulse of the team. A-Rod was calling him the heart and soul of the team. And Jim, those veins in his neck, man, those speak to the meathead in me. Those speak to a lot of different parts of me. So I want to talk about Uncle Brett. And you know what he's been doing, Jim? And I thought about giving him an award that had to do with slapping, but that was probably going to get me in trouble with however I labeled the award. But Gardy's got that slap double swing the other way back. He's got, what, 3 of those in the past 2 series or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
what about him going first to third? Did you talk about that already?
I mean, that's like, I don't know. I think there's kids listening to this podcast, so I don't think they want to hear me talk about that.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's beautiful. The overhead of him running first to third is so, like, it's a painting. He's painting a picture on the diamond.
It should be on Cinemax from 2 to 4 a.m.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah? You want Scott Bros's hands with you?
those soft hands.
Jeez. You fucking sicko.
What have we been talking about?
Well, we're talking about my first award, which is the Best Laid Plans.
Best laid plans.
Best Laid
Best
Plans
laid plans,
award.
no plans, they always say.
Got the lefty pitching, Kershaw. Didi's in there. 2 home runs, game 1. Swinging a good bat. Uh-oh. Gets hit in the shoulder. They have to take him out of the game. That moves Glaber to shortstop. Moves DJ to second base. Moves Mike Ford to first base. Another lefty. Going up against one of the best lefties to ever do it. Probably. Top 10 lefty to ever do it in baseball, I would guess. Every best player ever has an off game or an off pitch. Mike Ford steps in. Dude's a perennial quadruple A, triple A player. Didn't prep for the game. I wonder how much batting practice he took. Probably was sitting back thinking, thank God I don't have to face that guy. Steps up, hits a home run. Then later on, gets an RBI double. Your best laid plans, Jake, ain't always what happened. That was awesome. This is an absolutely awesome moment for Mike Ford to say he hit a home run off Kershaw.
And Jim, it kind of gets better. Because did you see? Because Kershaw called the pitching coach out to the mound, and it was after Judge hit his home run.
Yeah, it was Ford's first at bat.
Yes, and so everyone was speculating because LeMahieu and Judge hit home runs off the curveball, which doesn't happen to Clayton Kershaw. That they were like, oh, that I wonder he called out the pitching coach. It must be if the Yankees are sitting curveball or something like that.
Made me laugh when Dave Roberts said what it was because it's so logical.
And then Dave Roberts goes, "Oh, he called out the pitching coach because he didn't know the scouting report on Mike Ford at all."
Oh, that makes so much sense.
That makes a ton of sense. And by the way, not for nothing, I don't know. This is a little thing, but it's a little part of the reason Clayton Kershaw is good. I'm sure there's a lot of pitchers out there that would just see a bench lefty coming up and say, I'm Clayton Kershaw. I'm just going to get this guy out. Clayton Kershaw won the scouting report. Spoiler, didn't work out so great.
Yeah,
but
maybe it would have been better if they didn't say throw him that high fastball.
Mike Ford, man, good for him.
Good for him. That's right. That's why he got the Best Laid Plans award.
Is he gonna be able to stay on the roster till September 1?
No, he probably goes down when Voigt's back.
That sucks.
Yeah. You'd take Voigt over Ford.
Right. But I mean, if Wade hangs around and like Mike Ford is a week away from basically staying on the Yankees the whole season,
Well, he'll be right back up.
You think so? Like day 1 of September call-ups?
Why not? It's a lefty bench off the bat. They could just pop in if they need to. They're not going to ever need to, but I mean, it doesn't hurt
That's what I'm
them.
saying. Like maybe they'll give him AAA at bats in like the AAA playoffs and stuff. I don't know.
They might do that, but then once those are done, he'll be out.
Right, but that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe playing AAA instead of sitting the bench. Who knows? He'll be back. I mean, but I think he is down when Voigt's up.
Yeah, tough.
What is your next award?
James, my next award. It's one of my favorite awards. People tweet at me
Clamor
all
for
the
it?
time.
Clamor for it.
They tweet at me all the time. Jake, please give out this award. It's our favorite award when you do it.
Apparently,
Jim, it's the Stepping Stone Award.
oh wow! Apparently, I said a lefty bench off the bat earlier, which is
You did. I was gonna say something, but I didn't want you to be mad. Did chat say something?
yeah, that's awesome. I love mixing up phrases. You're supposed to do it on purpose for a joke, but that was
You say
natural.
Jim, Stepping Stone Award.
Yeah, Aaron Judge,
Big one. It's the
James
award
Paxton.
I'm known for.
Corey Gearin,
Nope. You got your pride of the Yankees.
Tyler Wade.
Jimmy, it goes to Gleyber Torres.
Ooh. Now you're gonna make me say stuff I didn't want to say.
Because Jimmy, year to year, the stepping stone that he is taking to become a great Yankee player, the stats finally lined up for Jimmy. He is 15 plate appearances off from what he did last year. The home runs are up 8. The hits are up. The on-base percentage is up. The OPS is up 70-plus points. The strikeouts are down, which, again, normally with everything else going up, we wouldn't care about. But I think that does show part of his growth as a hitter. He's 22. Jim, if people have been listening, talking Yanks, they've been known that this is coming for a while because I wanted the stats to line up. He has made the step. He's going to make another step next year. His defensive metric numbers are better. He's still a kid. He's getting better. Gleyber Torres, my guy.
Everything's fantastic. The offense is great. I think he's taking a step back on defense. I'm getting rather tired of the easy errors.
Yeah, I don't know. The metrics are with them. Defensive metrics are what they are.
Yeah, I don't count him for anything really.
He's still bouncing back between second base and shortstop.
But I feel like he dazzled us every now and then last year, like a lot of dazzling plays. I feel like he hasn't really dazzled us a lot this year. And there's still been the mental simple errors.
Yeah, and I don't know. We could go back to tapes of us last year saying we want him to be boring. So I mean, maybe there's a little of that mindset. Maybe it's just not getting the right balls to make those plays on. Yeah, he kicks a couple, but I think it's part of this Gleyber Torres growth process. Where in a couple years he'll either be locked into second base or shortstop, and that'll be a part of his career. And I don't know. I think that comes with the stepping stone, Jim.
Yeah. Different use of stepping stone because you're going good to more good.
Yes, I went good to more good, and the different use was also year to year because normally you're a series to series stepping stoner.
Don't call me that. I get enough.
What did I say?
I get enough of that.
What did I say?
I get enough.
I'm a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy.
Oh.
All right.
What's
Who
your
else?
final award?
Get off my butt about it, okay?
Wow. You and Scott Brocia's fans, huh?
You know what, dude? It's real tough with the relievers because I want to group them together because you didn't take anyone individually. And I know you're going to call me out and stuff, but, dude, I'm giving the Four Horsemen Award to the Four Horsemen. It's boring.
It's a great award.
Like you said, the Yankees flexed on them. They're like, guess what? This is what we got. Canely, I made the video of it because I loved it. Sprinting out from the bullpen, throwing 3 pitches, 1, 2, 3, and then slowly walking to the dugout with King Kane or King Khan on his back. It's the most badass thing. He sprinted to the mound, threw 3 pitches, and then slowly walked into the dugout. And that was his day. That was his outing. It was badass. Go watch the video I put on Twitter. There's a glitch in it, which made me mad. I fucked that up. It's badass, man. Ottavino was throwing straight wiffle balls. Wiffle balls. Insane. Witchcraft shit. Britton comes out and has a 5-pitch inning, just rolls them all over. Rolls them over. Strikes out Muncy, roll over, Bellinger, roll over, ground out, ground out. Chapman comes in, walks the first hitter. Oh no, is he rusty? Well, he hasn't pitched in 7 calendar days. No, never mind. He'll strike out the next 3 with ease. I mean, just flexed on him. It was awesome.
It's a big time, and I think it's funny because what we're about to say, people want to roll with more. But, in the matchup of these two teams, the Dodgers, they have these crazy starting pitchers. Well, guess what? We took care of Ryu big time. We did what we do against Kershaw. And then what? We showed our bullpen, and they were mean. We could do a full podcast on whose performance was more impressive. Canley's sprint and 3-pitch strikeout, Ottavino throwing frisbees. I'm Team Britton because he just threw those bowling balls up there. And then here comes Chapman to strike out the side after his walk. We could do a full 50 minutes on whose performance was better.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Who are you leaning right now? Sounds like you're leaning.
Chapman.
No, it's so funny.
Chapman gave them the walk, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we can do something. We are the walk-off kings."
Yeah.
Dodgers fans are ready for a walk-off. They should be. They walk off all the time. Yeah. And Chapman lead off walks, lead to runs, and then Chapman just, you think he threw 1 slider to Hernandez, and the rest he just fucking blew fastballs by him.
I was laughing so hard when Canley came out of the bullpen because it's so funny. Guys like him and Swisher, who, not that there's a ton of guys in that bucket, but you know who you're talking about. You even have 1 or 2 of them in your friends groups. But just something as small as Players Weekend, Canley, with the King Khan on his jersey, he was just going to have even more than he normally had.
And he faced King Jock.
Yeah.
They both had King on their backs, and he just 1-2-3'd them. Dude, it was cool. And then to slow walk off. Okay, work's over.
Good day at the office, huh?
Yeah, that was a breeze.
Who the hell's this Withak guy out of the Yankees bullpen?
Oh, I didn't pronounce it like that when I read your tweet. I just read it. Who the hell's this with a K guy? That's different. It's different when you say Withak.
That's the whole joke.
Yeah, I missed it. I didn't get it.
Withak?
Withak attack.
Something.
Got anything else? So we got a fun matchup. Justice Sheffield versus James Paxton on the 3rd game of the Seattle series.
For me, if we win, and I'm looking up the pitching matchups right now. For me, it's game 1. And now that I'm seeing it's Hap, game 1 is big.
Hap first, I think Hap versus bullpen day.
I think if we win game 1, I think it's a sweep. I really do. But I'm interested to see. I mean, Paxton, I think he shoves against his old team just to do it. And I think we're both kind of rooting for a fireworks show off of Sheffield. And then, Jim, you actually probably love game 2, right? Your guys.
Tanaka versus
Kikuchi.
Oh, they're facing off against each other?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a big game for Tanaka, too, because big Japanese market for Seattle. Japanese. What's that?
Tanaka's going to shove.
Yeah, I mean, in Japan, they had Seattle was prime time because of Ichiro for a while, and then the Yankees. And so I think they've talked about that before. I think.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, Tanaka, we've got his reason. Paxton against his old team. As long as Hap gives us something game
They're
one.
fun. They're fun matchups, dude. The two Japanese pitchers going against each other, and then the two guys that got traded for each other going against each other. Like, it means nothing in the grand scheme of things, but for 3 hours, it's gonna mean everything. Fucking Paxton versus Sheffield, and Sheffield, guys, he got demoted to Double A, and pitched, I don't know, 10 games in Double A. Then they just called him back up, and he had like not a great outing versus the Blue Jays. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He hasn't been good. I don't know why they called him back up. They hard for pitching. He's on the 40 man. It seems like they got an injury and he's on the 40 man, so he's out.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I think you're the AAA AA thing there. I think sometimes like that can just be working with a coach. I don't necessarily think it was a like, oh, you need to be facing AA. You're not good enough for AAA.
I mean, the 3 games before he got sent to Double A, he gave up 7 earned runs, 5 earned runs, then 8 earned runs, and then they sent him down to Double A. So I think it was definitely performance based.
Yeah, no, but I think that I heard something about the AA pitching coach down there. So I don't know. We'll see what he's got. I mean, again, Justice Sheffield, he's been waiting for this moment. We'll see. I think I don't know. I think give me game one, and I think we're 5-4 on the roadie.
Well, Kikuchi did shut us down last time we saw him. Pine Tar kid. So
Pine Tar.
All right, that ends the show. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell Jake he sucks. And check out the pregame show tomorrow or later today whenever you're listening to this. And we will be talking about the lineups and the matchups and homer draft and over-unders.
Voicemails.
Oh, and then voicemail ups tomorrow as well. We're going to record that after the pregame show before the game starts.
Nice.
It's a 10 p.m. start. So, cool. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams. Hour 30, Jake.
Oh, sure.
It's them Doyers.
The years.
Yeah, what's the chat up to? Wednesday is definitely just as intriguing after Chef got carouseled through the ranks. Yeah, they're interesting pitching matchups for sure. For sure. Tanaka steps up when facing Japanese players. Was awesome against Darvish. Remember that game? Game was awesome.
He knows the eyes are on him.
Big Tanaka fan.
Yeah?
Yeah. Roosevelt's doesn't deliver to Australia. That's a bummer. I can ask him about it.
Kind of horse shit.
Well, they're so countryist. Should I email them and say, why are you guys so countryist? I'll say, what do you mean by that? Why do you fucking hate Australia? That's what I'll say. You think I should say that?
No.
Dude, it was nice having you with normal Wi-Fi.
You're telling me. So good to be back.
The guy I met with today, he was like, yeah, I was checking things out. I tuned into your latest episode with the crazy delay. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, that's the episode you tuned in.
Got a good one.
I was like, fuck. But he was laughing. He was like, that was funny. Did you ever watch that clip and see how delayed it was?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Doesn't make sense.
Felt like I wasn't on Earth.
How was the rest of your trip?
It was good. It was good. I mean, I had anxiety and was freaking out and didn't sleep that first night at all. But once I caved in, we had some fun.
Did anyone draft Andrew Luck?
Oh, yeah. The draft was like 2-3 hours before his announcement.
Who drafted him? What was the reaction? Like, what's the outcome of that?
I mean, he was still like hurt. Like people were skeptical he was going to play week 1, so he wasn't like a big pick. But dude, it's pretty wild. Doesn't It's like never happened before.
Yeah. Someone called in to Big Cat's radio show, the Yak on Barstool Series channel, and said something along the lines of, "Hey, I work in with the Colts. This ankle stuff is a cover up for his shoulder, which is so bad that it might have him like out forever." And they just like laughed, like, "Thanks for the insight." And now they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
But so the old Colts third string guy? What's his name? Brissett or
So Brissett is getting it, and it might be your guy Jim Swag Kelly might be the backup now.
damn. Did you see the reporting by Schefter? And it was like he intended to tell his teammates tonight, but plans got changed. And it's like, yeah, because you broke the news.
Yeah.
Plans got changed
Yeah,
because you broke the news before he wanted to.
that was the other thing that, and I said like the second, actually it was right after the game on and before I muted it to do this. The ESPN guys were like, yeah, everyone did their job. Adam Schefter did his job, and it was like, well, kind of.
Yeah, man. That's why
Yeah.
I don't get that world of reporting. If I wasn't like that, seems like such personal news that like I've always been told like in that situation it'd be like, hey, this isn't mine to share, you know. But like that's kind of what their job is. But this one felt very much like, dude, just let him announce that.
And like we're saying Adam Schefter right now, which is his name and his brand and everything. But yeah, so that was the part that got me because I was like, holy shit! Like I don't know, I knew he was injured, and I don't know, I know he's like a different kind of guy. I didn't realize that the Colts were playing a home game when it leaked, and so when I saw all the booing and just like, dude, I literally can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know what the movie scene is for that. It's like the girl walking into prom after she killed someone.
Did you see Gottlieb? Did you see Troy Aikman's response to Gottlieb?
People, I don't know if I saw Troy's reaction.
He quote
Saw
tweeted him and said like, "You're," said something very, very bad, and then put down FS1, which I thought was kind of weird. It's like that's why you work for FS1. It's like you didn't need that part, man.
Damn.
Throw
Troy.
FS1.
Yeah, that's total bullshit, Doug. What qualifies you to decide how someone should live their life? So you're now the authority on what motivates Andrew Luck. And if his decisions don't fit into what you think is best for him, then you rip him. Guess that keeps you employed at FS1. Nice.
Yeah, like the FS1 dig just is totally like out of line. Like now you're stooping to his level, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Troy works for a competitor, so.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. CC and Chad to back up Sevi and Herman would def be key. Be cool. It's an easy ask, but it's amazing to be able to write with. Is he talking about the Gary? I'll put it into the Google Translate machine. I do not say what the article is. Okay, so I'm going to do it my own version. I'm not going to say what the article is, but it is amazing. Some people may believe it when they see it, and that scares me. You can change the life of others with articles. Yeah. I'm going to do my own translation.
Feels good.
Translation. I'm not share the article, but it is amazing what people can write without the facts. Is it a story? Question mark. Some people may believe it, and that scares me. You can change lives with articles like that. And go fuck yourself, the New York Post. Gary is my best friend, and I like him.
I will fight you.
Yeah. I gotta delete some words. I'll delete this apostrophe. I'm gonna take without and do the little slash. No, I'm just gonna take out is it a story? Bam. Even got one more character. Put that apostrophe.
Did you see my best tweet of the day?
It's the New York Post, right?
I believe so. It's just near it.
His name's Phil Mushnick. Should I call him up by name? My dad emailed him. Was like, I used to like you. I'll call him out by name. Dude, it's utter trash what he wrote.
New York Post, yeah.
Tweeted. I thought John Boy said he doesn't read articles on the Yankees. I didn't read the article. I read like the first paragraph, and it's like, this is what I thought it was. I'm out.
Didn't click it. Not giving him that click.
Smart. Someone, I think I read like a little bit in the Reddit thread, and it was because they'll copy and paste it there. And it was on that play where Gary like got tagged out. But this guy, Phil Mushnick, has a history. When Jay-Z bought the Nets, his quotes was like, what's he going to call them? The Brooklyn N-words? Are the cheerleaders going to be called hoes? And I was like, dude, what? You're just an old racist guy? You're allowed to write that? Like, the quotes from that article were like, the most racist.
The most racist.
Yeah. All right. Muncie's a punk. Now says he didn't like how small he was next to Judge or something. I like Muncie. He didn't like how small he was next to Judge. I was going to tweet out that picture. Judge dwarfed him like he would me.
Yeah.
It was a bad look for him.
It's tough.
Yeah. Tough. Big Aaron Judge. All right. We're out of here, guys. See you tomorrow for pregame show. Peace.